The book Fables of Fortune by Richard Watts provides an opportunity to look inside the world of the rich and gain some measure of understanding that wealth has a cost. The author's occupation as general legal counsel to the super rich gives him a window into a lifestyle most people never see. He helps us understand the reality of wealth with the hope it will provide an honest, comparative reflection on our own life. We may discover that our world, in some ways, is actually richer than the life of the super wealthy in relationships, satisfaction, experiences, and fulfillment. Please subscribe in order to stay tuned. The author defines the super rich as those who never have to ask themselves, "Can I afford this?" Their net worth is such that almost anything money can buy is within their reach at any time. Many of us dream of being one of them, disregarding our own blessings and overlooking others' negative attributes. Why? Because we think more is better. And more than anything, we desire more, believing it will make us feel better. It would, for a while, because no matter how much we have, we tend to want a little bit more. Our perception usually determines our perspective. The super rich may travel on the speed walk, but from their perspective, they are moving at a normal pace. Although we may never be super rich, we have moments when we gain a little ground in the struggle, when we achieve a small victory, when the pressure lets up for just a second and we realize life is good. Everyone longs to be in that moment, but the super rich who live in that moment full time find it difficult to appreciate the privilege. They often miss the joy we find in everyday blessings like a healthy marriage, a close family, a position of respect in the community, or time with a few good friends. Stay with us and learn in what way the super rich pay the price for being wealthy. Materialism and the lost sense of value. You can characterize money as being similar to alcohol or drugs. When it is used intermittently and in relatively conservative portions or doses, the results can be enhancing and beneficial. But as in any substance abuse, as the use becomes continual and excessive, it becomes more and more difficult to regain a personal baseline. Many people set a limit for drinking, 3 beers or 2 glasses of wine per day, that's it. Yet because there is no warning label on money, people of wealth continue to buy one thing after another, adding to their possessions and increasing their comfort level without regard to the effect of the constant purchasing on the peace of mind and character of the individual. Materialism is very subtle and contagious. The newly rich perceive value because everything they ever wanted to purchase or own now seems cheap and easy. At first, every acquisition offers a sense of value because it was previously unattainable but no longer represents a significant expense. But over time, it diminishes with each purchase until any sense of value fades away because money is no object. The super rich crave the passion that materialism has depleted. Yet without a sense of value, satisfaction remains elusive. The toll on family life. Marriage. Wealth is a subtle mistress. It smooths out the rough spots in life, opens doors to previously unattainable opportunities, and provides you with comforts, yet all the while it is undermining your relationships. The reason is that money becomes an end in itself rather than the means to an end. The husband and wife begin to divert more and more time and thought to increasing wealth, preserving wealth, and utilizing wealth. Developing a successful business is a difficult task, and it provides both monetary reward and a sense of personal satisfaction. The spouse who is primarily responsible for the growth of the wealth usually allows it to enter and climb up high on the family's priority list. The spouse, children, friends, and other priorities move down to accommodate the business. When spouses fail to spend time with one another and to pay attention to each other's needs, they grow apart. Relationships become stagnant, underappreciated, and ultimately strained. The divorce rate among the rich is almost 70%, and multiple marriages are quickly becoming the norm. Entitled children. Most parents could be convicted of trying to make their children's lives easier and less taxing than their own. They deny their kids the satisfaction of earning things on their own and the fulfillment that comes from a job well done. Sadly, what begins as an act of love often ends in the decimation of a child's character. A healthy adult will not mature without exposure to difficulty and pain. In the case of the super rich, no amount of expenditure on the part of the children will interfere with the family's functioning or lifestyle. Spending is not tied to economic survival, so children can acquire material things relatively unnoticed. Since no earning takes place between acquisitions, purchasing a new car or house feels equivalent to obtaining a new bicycle. Value never enters the equation. Most of the super rich never experience compression. Generations grow up in a state of continual expansion, never going through the learning process that comes when we deal with problems or times of want. As a result, most of them are ill-equipped to handle even the smallest of life's obstacles. There is nothing better for children than to crash and burn as a result of their own errors in judgment and mistakes, for them to experience the consequences of their choices. Perhaps the only way to savor the richness of life is to experience being poor. Your legacy as a parent should be shaped by what you actually do rather than what you have. With no kingdom to run, you will have more time, which is the real treasure in this life. Your descendants will remember you as father or mother rather than founder. Family battles. 9 times out of 10, family battles among the super rich are fought over money. In general, conflict increases in direct proportion to the amount of wealth involved. Sons, daughters, brothers, and sisters become willing to destroy family relationships as acceptable casualties in pursuit of victory. Family battles are not unique to the super rich, but the stakes in their battles are higher, and they have the resources to sustain disputes over longer periods of time. Also, the battles that occur among average families usually involve direct confrontation. One family member confronts another and expresses his anger, disappointment, or hurt. Most often, these resolve quickly. They are healthy for maturing families and necessary for all to feel heard and valued. Friends. Friendship. Genuine friendship is an irreplaceable gift. Genuine friends are assets who help you overcome and forget the negative and rejoice in the positive. Life is not meant to be lived alone, but those who were born with wealth rarely have friendships without strings attached. Understandably, insincere relationships harden the hearts of the rich and make them cynical toward approaching strangers. The super rich often feel sure others are trying to get what they have, and they seek to protect themselves from the rest. This protectiveness leads them to avoid people of seemingly lesser means. As they do so, they appear to be arrogant and condescending. Many of the rich struggle to find a place of refuge where they can relax and be themselves. When they spend time with other wealthy people, they are pulled into a metaphorical game of chess, aimed to strike fear or stimulate envy in the hearts of others. The competition never stops. The super rich also feel pressure to maintain appearance in the public eye and to confirm that money does in fact cure all ills. Most people don't care about your average family, but the family of the super rich is sometimes considered a showpiece to the community. So many of them choose to conceal the truth about themselves from the outside world, and a secret life emerges outside the specter of public criticism. Living below the world's radar allows the ordinary man freedom to explore, to make mistakes unnoticed, to take himself less seriously, and to create his own life story without uninvited social editors. The haves often surround themselves with yes men who are paid to tell them what they want to hear. Before long, they secretly stop believing in their own opinions. If no one in their life would tell them the truth, how are they supposed to know if they're out of line or if they do something well? When ordinary people are wrong, our friends, family, or coworkers generally call us on our inaccuracy or indiscretion. When we are challenged, we learn, we grow, we evolve, and eventually we hone solid knowledge and skills. Spiritually challenged. Your life can be sliced like a pie into 3 pieces: your personal journey, your family and friends, and your spirituality. Said another way, yourself, those around you, and your belief in a greater purpose or being. The pieces, however proportioned, can be no greater than the whole pie. Balancing between them is very important, and often not very easy. Wealth tends to expand the opportunity for exploring one's personal journey. But as we make choices to take on new endeavors, businesses, sports, hobbies, etc., the other pieces of the pie must shrink. There is only so much time, and wealth takes time. When people are consumed with their own story, There is less room for a greater purpose or a supreme being. It is harder to be spiritually fed with the gratitude, love, and respect of others. Living behind castle walls. Through these behaviors, the rich rope themselves off from much of the world. Life becomes very limited. The super rich may have plenty of material things, but they don't get to hear the truly honest thoughts and ideas of people of lesser means. They miss out on the chance to learn from successes and failures, from winning and losing, from profit and loss. They wall themselves into an artificial world with a captive audience, rather than a life lived in grimy reality and with genuine relationships. They rarely experience the richness and fulfillment of day-to-day existence because they live on top of the world as opposed to in the world. I'd rather not be rich. According to the author, you should be content, not because you made it to be super rich, but because you didn't. When you compare your life to theirs, instead of jealousy, feel gratitude that you have less than they do, that you are able to escape their inherent struggles and the judgmental eyes of the world, making your life their reality show. Living as a have-not can have great advantages in being able to experience the simple life without having to spend a lifetime trying to find it. Remind yourself of this simple but profound truth. The richest person is not who has the most, but the one who needs the least. If you enjoyed this video, you are sure to like our summary of Richard Watt's other book, Entitlemania. Thank you for watching.